Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Luthfianti Syafitri. I'm from Eslanggol University, Jakarta. And today I will present about indirectness in language and culture. This is an important topic in linguistics that helps us understand how people communicate in ways that are not always direct. Indirectness can help maintain politeness, avoid conflict, and show respect in different cultural settings. And then for the next slide is what is indirectness? Indirectness is a way of communicating meaning without saying things directly. People often use it to sound polite or avoid sounding too harsh. For example, like instead of saying close the window, someone might say it's cold in here. The meaning is the same, but the second one is softer and more polite. And then for the next slide is why use indirectness? People use indirect language for many reasons. One common reason is to be polite, especially in formal situations. It can also help avoid conflict or hurting someone's feelings. In many cultures, indirectness is a sign of respect, especially when speaking to someone older or in a higher position. And then, indirectness across culture. Different cultures have different levels of indirectness. For example, in Japan, people usually speak very indirectly to avoid being rude. In the United States, people are sometimes indirect but still fairly straightforward. And then in Germany, people are often very direct, and that seems as normal and honest. And then pragmatics and indirectness. Indirectness is studied in a branch of linguistics called pragmatics. Pragmatics focuses on meaning and context. When we use indirect language, we depend on the listener to understand what we really mean. This understanding depends on shared knowledge and social norms. And then politeness theory from Brown and Levinson. According to Brown and Levinson's theory, people want to protect their face or social image. They describe two types of politeness. First is positive politeness, which shows friend lines, and then the second is negative politeness, which shows respect and avoid pressure. Indirectness is often used to show negative politeness. And then the example of indirectness. Uh, here's some, here are some example of indirect language. Uh, First is for a request. Instead of saying, help me, we say, could you maybe help me with this? And then for the second is for criticism. We might say, that's an interesting idea, even if we don't agree. And then to reject someone, we might say, I'll think about it. And then for a complaint, instead of saying, you're late, we say, I noticed the report was a bit late. And then the challenges in cross-cultural communication. Indirectness can cause misunderstanding between people from different cultures. If someone is too indirect, the listener may not understand the message. On the other hand, if someone is too direct, it might sound rude. That's why that's why knowing about indirectness is helpful in global communication. And then for the last slide is the conclusion. To conclude, indirectness is an important part of how we use language. It helps us be polite, avoid conflict, and show respect. It also reflects cultural values. And then understanding indirectness can improve our communication skills and help us avoid misunderstanding, especially across culture. And then for the last slide, maybe until here my presentation about language culture. Thank you and goodbye.